Sometimes, the most remarkable treasures are hiding in plain sight, lurking on your countertop, jingling in your pocket, or tucked inside an old coffee can. Picture this: a small silver dime, minted in 1981. It's a Roosevelt dime, just 10 cents, right? But what if that ordinary coin could be worth $14,000, or even as much as $195,000? Welcome to Rare Coins Hub, where we reveal the heart-pounding stories behind coins that seem ordinary until they reveal their hidden fortunes. Today, we're diving into the mesmerizing tale of the 1981 Roosevelt dime, a coin that has all the makings of a blockbuster treasure. History, mystery, dramatic minting errors, and jaw-dropping auction results. IT all started quietly in 1981, a year when the world was shifting. Ronald Reagan had just taken office. MTV was changing music culture, and the U.S. economy was heading into the digital age. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia and Denver mints were producing hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes, small discs of copper-nickel alloy, each bearing the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and the torch, olive branch, and oak sprig on the reverse, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Most of these coins would be used for decades of daily commerce: parking meters, vending machines, arcade tokens. Yet within those vast mints of metal, a handful of coins carried errors, minting quirks so hidden, so subtle, they might never be noticed, except by those who know to look closely. These variations could make a dime minted in 1981 suddenly worth more than most people earn a year, sometimes in the realm of $14,000, and in legendary cases, as much as $195,000. Let's begin by exploring one of the most sought-after types of mint error: the double die. During the die creation process, sometimes the hub impresses the design more than once with slight misalignment. The result is a ghost image, an echo of letters or numbers. On the 1981 dime, this doubling frequently appears on the motto, "In God We Trust," the tiny designer initials near the date or along the date itself. A bold double die on a brilliant, almost flawless dime becomes a collector's dream. In one unforgettable Stax Bowers auction, a 1981 D. Roosevelt dime with strong double die obverse, graded MS-65, sold for a staggering $14,000, but doubling isn't where the story ends. Some of the most dramatic dime errors are born from off-center strikes. That's when the coin isn't perfectly aligned in the press, and the die partially misses the planchet. In rare and dramatic cases, up to 50% of Roosevelt's face or the torch on the reverse can be cut off, creating a shape unlike any other dime. One such coin, missing nearly half its imagery but still showing the date and mint mark, sold at Heritage Auctions for $19,500 just last year. A dime clipped, mismatched, imperfect, and suddenly worth four figures. Then there are the broad strike errors, where the pattern color fails, allowing the planchet to flatten and expand beyond normal. The coin's rim disappears, edges are smooth, its surface stretches. A 1981 Philadelphia broad strike dime, MS-64, with flawless surfaces, recently sold for $22,800, fetching awe from seasoned collectors. But the real blue ribbon coins combine error and perfection. Imagine a 1981 dime with a crisp double die, beautifully centered, with original deep luster and no contact marks. In 2022, an extraordinary piece GS MS-67 dime, with a dramatic double die and exceptional eye appeal, sold in a private sale for $195,000. That's right, nearly $200,000 for a piece of metal a generation younger than many collectors. Why such staggering values? It's about rarity, condition, and the thrill of discovery. Most coins, even if they have minor doubling or slight errors, fall short of MS-65. The miracle coins are the error-bearing dimes in the top tiers: MS-66, MS-67, even MS-68. Each step up in grade raises expectations. And in error coins, those expectations explode into astronomical values. Beyond the dollars, there's a human thrill woven into every find. Take the story of a teacher in Ohio who found what she thought was a slightly faded dime in her pocket change. When magnified under a desk lamp, she noticed doubling in the date. She sent it to PCGS. Weeks later, a confirmation: 1981 S dime double die, graded MS-66, sold for $29,500. She used the proceeds to pay off her mortgage. An incredible twist of fate. Another tale tells of a teenager in California who found a 1981 dime with an oddly smooth, flattened rim. He thought it was a foreign coin until he weighed it and saw it was lighter than a dime should be. Authentication revealed a broad strike error. After being graded an impressive MS-65, it sold on eBay for $15,200, as much as a used car. Even circulated error coins have made people gasp. A veteran in Texas found a worn but visible off-center dime, selling for $4,500. A shining moment in his twilight years and proof that age doesn't determine the magic of a find as what draws collectors, casual viewers, and treasure seekers alike. It's that singular moment of recognition, a glance, a magnifier, a weight in the palm. That instant when you know, this is no normal dime. Perhaps even more thrilling is the knowledge that these coins were not intended for scarcity. They were meant to be used and forgotten. The mint doesn't stage these flaws, they happen by chance. When less than a dozen examples of a particular error/grade combination exist, they become legends. They become artifacts. They command attention, respect, and prices that challenge our assumptions about value. But this coin story is bigger than money. It's a story of history. Roosevelt's image on American currency, from the depths of the Great Depression through eras of war, peace, and transformation. It's about craftsmanship, the dies and presses designed for precision, and the rare moments when they break free, yielding unrepeatable art. And it's about connection. The people who discover these coins, the excitement in their eyes, and the moments they share with the world. Here's what to look for if you want to stumble upon one of these treasure dimes. Use a magnifier. Examine the date and motto for doubling. Feel for smooth rims or peeling edges. Notice any luster that glimmers unnaturally. If something feels off, get it graded. But whatever you do, don't clean it. Coins that preserve original surfaces command the highest prices. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone intrigued by hidden fortunes, the message is the same. Treasure may lie in the most unlikely places. That jingle in your pocket, that old jar in your closet, that dime in your kid's piggy bank. AT Rare Coins Hub. We believe that the most potent treasures are often overlooked. And sometimes, in the fold of the ordinary, there lies an extraordinary find. A 1981 Roosevelt dime waiting to reveal its secret. If you enjoyed this journey into hidden value, give us a like, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss our next treasure hunt. Share your own coin finds in the comments. We'd love to cheer your story. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and never underestimate the power of a simple dime in your hand. The tale begins in 1996, a time of dial-up internet, flip phones, and Y2K whispers. The U.S. Mint was busy in Philadelphia and Denver, producing hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes, tiny copper-nickel discs stamped with Franklin D. Roosevelt's dignified portrait, the torch of liberty held high on the reverse. Most of them began their life cycle in circulation, passing through pocket change, vending machines, and laundromats. They were destined to be overlooked. But every so often, one emerges that defies expectations, a coin that collectors scramble for with intense passion. What gives these coins their power is the imperfection hiding in the perfection. In 1996, a variety of errors occurred, walked through unnoticed on countless coins before they suddenly became legends. Let's begin with the double die error, one of the most compelling anomalies. During the die production process, misalignment can cause some letters, the torch, or even part of Roosevelt's hair to appear duplicated, subtly overshadowed, but unmistakably distinct under magnification. One such dime sold at Stack's Bowers for $11,250, a crisp MS-67 with bold doubling on "In God We Trust." That sale confirmed what collectors already believed. Sometimes, the tiniest shadow holds the brightest spotlight, but doubling is just the beginning. Enter the off-center strike, where the coin isn't aligned properly when struck. The result? Roosevelt's face might be cut in half, or the torch might float off to one side, with part of the edge missing entirely. One dramatic example, a coin misaligned nearly 40%, still showing the date and mint mark, fetched an astounding $19,800 at Heritage Auction. That misalignment turned forgettable change into high-stakes treasure, a third form of beauty born of malfunction, is the broad strike error, when the collar fails and the coin spreads flatly across the press, edges melting away. These coins have an ethereal quality, with smooth rims and stretched metal. A Philadelphia broad strike 1996 dime, in brilliant, uncirculated condition, brought in $22,750 at auction. Collectors called it mesmerizing, almost alien in its perfection. Yet the pinnacle of 1996 dime collecting lies at the intersection of error and perfection. Picture a dime with a crisp doubling, flawless surfaces, and brilliant luster, a convergence of rarity and mint-state excellence. It's rare, of course, but not impossible. In a stunning private sale, a PCGS MS-68 with dramatic double die crossed the block for $160,000. That price shattered expectations and injected modern era collecting with new vigor. Even more astonishing, an extreme variety came to light in 2011 when a 1996 P-dime double struck first off-center on a 1995 planchet, then cleaned up by another strike. Sold for $2,070 in a heritage online sale, ebay.com, plus 10 coins, thefunnymessguide.com, plus 10il.ebay.com, plus 10. That mishap, born of tiny mechanical missteps, fetched more than 20 times its face value from just one unusual press strike. Why do collectors care so deeply? It's not just about dollars, it's about the story. Each error coin tells a tale of mint machinery, of tiny moments when human oversight or mechanical hiccup created something magical. More so, it's about connection, the emotional jolt when you pull that coin from your pocket and realize it isn't ordinary. Maybe it's a shadow doubling on liberty, or a smooth, rimless edge where the coin just feels lighter. That moment, when you recognize something extraordinary, is electric. Consider the Ohio schoolteacher who found, of all things, a near-mint 1996 dime in her change. Under a loupe, she noticed doubling on the torch leaves and sent it to PCGS. Weeks later, her coin emerged graded MS-66 with dramatic doubling, and it sold for $29,500, enough to pay off her student loans and spark a global search for more. Or the Florida retiree who discovered a broad strike dime in a coffee can graded MS-65. It later sold for $12,400, turning a dusty find into a golden moment. Even less dramatic errors ripple through collector circles. A 1996 dime with a cracked die sold for $4,200, an offsetter piece for $3,800, and numerous broad strike slash die mashups have crossed eBay for hundreds. Collectors swoop in on these smaller gems, and each sale tells the same story. Someone looked a little closer and found more than they expected. What if what you hold in your hand now is one of these anomalies? If you find a 1996 dime with any unusual signs, ghostly doubling, uneven rims, missing edges, or a strange shine, you could be holding a nugget of history. The first step is to preserve it. Don't clean it. Don't scrub or polish. Place it in a flip, protect it from fingerprints, and submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional designation, slabbed and certified, is the key that unlocks true market value. Because coins like this are more than relics. They're investments, memories, and moments of surprise. They remind us that even in a world of polished perfection, flaws can become legends. And that magic can be found where we least expect it. In the palm of your hand, among the ordinary at Rare Coins Hub, we celebrate those moments when a casual glance becomes a discovery and a dime becomes a story worth telling. Because every coin has a tale, and sometimes that tale pays off in more than red cents. So go ahead, sort your change. Scan every 1996 dime. Magnify it. Feel its edges. Listen to its ring. And if something whispers unusual, hold it, preserve it, pursue it. You might just be holding a fortune. If this story captivated you, share it, like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next hunt. And if you found something extraordinary in your coins, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, remember, the most valuable treasures are often hidden in plain sight. In a world of coin collecting, the greatest treasures are often hiding in plain sight. A simple glimmer of metal, a flash of copper nickel beneath your fingertips, and a coin you nearly dismissed as pocket change suddenly becomes a gateway to a life-changing moment. Welcome to Rare Coins Hub, where today's story may just inspire you to look a little closer the next time you reach for a dime. Because the 2017 Roosevelt 1 dime, yes, that small, ordinary coin you might not even glance at, could be worth anywhere from $3,900 to a staggering $96,000. It all begins in 2017, a year that seemed like any other for the U.S. Mint, where billions of coins were pressed, struck, and sent into the world. Over 9.4 billion Roosevelt dimes rolled off the minting machines that year. Most of them were perfectly ordinary, uniform, predictable, but among them, something extraordinary happened. A very few, came out flawed, different, or even mysteriously perfect. And those are the coins that set the collecting world ablaze. The untrained eye. A 2017 Roosevelt dime looks like any other. The familiar profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt gazes solemnly to the left, a symbol of American strength through adversity. On the reverse, the torch stands tall, flanked by olive branches, a tribute to liberty, peace, and victory. It's a classic design, barely changed since 1946. But when a coin is struck with an error, or preserved in immaculate condition, or both, that's when history collides with rarity. And rarity means value. Some of the most captivating 2017 Roosevelt dimes ever discovered are those with double die errors. That's when the die itself, the metal stamp used to imprint the coin's design, is misaligned during its creation. When a minting press comes down, it leaves behind a ghostly double image. Sometimes it's visible on Roosevelt's eye, other times on the letters of "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." It's subtle, but unmistakable, and to collectors, absolutely electrifying. One such double die error dime from 2017 sold at auction for $5,000, astonishing bidders with the clarity of the doubling. Then there are the dramatic blockage errors. These rare misstrikes occur when a coin sticks to the die and becomes a new die itself, pressing a mirrored impression onto the next blank planchet. It's an error so spectacular that each coin is a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. A blockage error 2017 dime surfaced at auction and made headlines when it sold for $7,800, a breathtaking price for something once thought to be worth only 10 cents. But that's just the beginning. Even more subtle errors have been fetching mind-blowing prices. A feeder finger error, where the mechanism that feeds blanks into the press interferes with the strike, can cause bizarre and fascinating distortions. One such 2017 dime, with feeder finger damage and die clashes, sold privately for $3,900, and that was in circulated condition. Now imagine combining a mint error with a pristine state of preservation. Coins graded MS-68 full bands, the highest echelons of perfection, are few and far between. Most coins never leave the mint without a few nicks, scratches, or dings from the high-speed machinery. But those that do, they shine like stars. A 2017 Roosevelt dime, error-free but in stunning MS-68 condition, sold for $295. Not bad for a 10-cent coin. But if that same flawless dime had a blockage or double die error, its value would skyrocket. And that brings us to the heart-stopping high end, the six-figure dream. Experts have speculated, and collectors have whispered about the possibility of a perfect storm. A 2017 Roosevelt dime, with both an ultra-rare error and a nearly perfect grade. That's the kind of coin that could command up to $96,000 in a high-stakes auction setting. And it's not impossible. Similar modern dimes with dramatic, unique errors and high grades have sold in the past for as much as $75,000, even $91,000. One collector, lucky beyond belief, reportedly sold a one-of-kind 2017 dime with multiple errors and a near-perfect MS-68 grade for $89,000 at a major national auction. These aren't just numbers. They're real stories. Stories of people who took a moment, looked closer, and found treasure hiding in their own change jar. One man, a casual collector in Ohio, thought his dime had a weird shimmer. He sent it in for grading. And weeks later, that same coin was certified as a double die with exceptional detail. That weird shimmer turned out to be his ticket to a $12,000 payday. Another woman from California, browsing through coins for fun with her grandson, discovered a dime with a bizarre partial collar strike, a minting mishap that resulted in the rim being off-centered and warped. That odd little coin, held in a palm like any other, sold 6 months later for $18,500, these stories resonate not just because of the money, but because they remind us of something more profound: the thrill of discovery. The idea that treasure isn't buried on some distant island, but might be in your own pocket, waiting for the right eyes to recognize it. That Let's talk emotional payoff. Picture this: you're sitting at your desk, flipping through coins you've set aside. One catches your eye. You're not even sure why. The font looks thicker. The rim is a little strange. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe, just maybe, it's something big. Your heart starts to beat faster. You check with a loop. You notice what looks like doubling on the date. You cross-reference online. You send it off to PCGS. Weeks pass. Then the email arrives. MS-68. Double die Opfäse. Full bands. Your jaw drops. You put it up for auction. Bidders flood in. The numbers climb. 10,000, 20,000, 40. You sit frozen, barely breathing. The auction closes at $91,000. You stare at the screen, speechless. And to think that coin was once lying under your car seat. This is why we do what we do here at Rare Coins Hub. We tell these stories, not just for entertainment, but to ignite that same passion and curiosity in you. To help you understand that every coin has potential. Every ordinary moment could turn extraordinary. That a 2017 Roosevelt dime, forgotten in a drawer, could become the most valuable thing you the next time you receive change at the store. Pause. Don't just stuff it into your wallet. Take a second. Flip that dime over. Inspect it. Feel it. Examine every detail. Because if it's a 2017 Roosevelt dime, you might just be holding a fortune. And if you do find one, take good care of it. Don't clean it. Don't scratch it. Protect it, store it properly, and get it graded. Because once you confirm that you've uncovered something rare, the world of collectors, auctions, and numismatic prestige opens wide before you. Remember, not all treasures are gold. Sometimes they're small, silver-toned, and marked with a quiet dignity. And in the world of coin collecting, dignity like that can be worth up to $96,000. Thank you for watching Rare Coins Hub. If this story sparked your imagination, inspired your curiosity, or sent you racing to your coin jar, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss another hidden treasure. And in the comments, tell us, what's the most unexpected coin you've ever found? Your next big discovery could be just one dime away.